Все, спасибо. Possible to try to interpret from outside. The topic of the final work is...
Dear colleagues, I greet you all. We are waiting for our participant. I see them in a parallel webinar room.
Find specification of solutions based on...
Now, wait for a while. They have to jump from one webinar room to another, and we will start. Антон, тогда организуйте еще одно место. Ладно? Антон не организовал? Да, заходите. Заходите в секцию. Мелина, я видела там. Напишите ему частным порядком.
Since in practice, 3 areas of application of blockchain technology are implemented in the framework, optimizing zoning and materials of the possible design and solution for these to the same or smaller process. It's a product facing the origin of the product after the completing the transfer technology. The second is called ASIN. It's providing information of the status of the living or other facilities in real time. And the third is supply chain finance. It's automated processing of payments depending on the status of the card. The next step is the kind of solution, is a description of the technical concept. The technical implementation of the solution is based on the design of the chain platform itself. This stage begins with the design of blockchain platform modules, namely with the choice of hardware technology and infrastructure. The other works with the choice of the basis. This layer can consist of virtual machine, also containing various services.
Okay, dear colleagues, we are waiting for our first reporter who misunderstood and went to the webinar room number 1 instead of going to our webinar room. So as soon as we solve this problem, we start work of our sessions. Цверко.
it allows you to understand the process in the code. Next configuration, the blockchain platform with IoT using sidechain. The sidechain approach is characterized by the use of two chain levels. Within each project is a
Dạ. Điền số ạ. Vâng. Hay hơn đây.
Ivan Yefimov.
Здравствуйте, вот вас слышно сейчас.
Good day. Let me change our queue and I give the floor to your presentation, to you and to your presentation. Start, please.
Okay.
Dear participant, I greet you once more. And before our reporter start his presentation, let me introduce our expert today, Zharikov Mikhail Vячеславович, professor of World Finance Department, and Tsvirko Svetlana Eduardovna, professor of the same department. Ivan, are you ready?
Yeah.
Start, please.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Today, the theme of my presentation is cryptocurrency, the new phenomenon in the economy, challenges and development perspectives, and it's the energy review as a brand new cryptocurrency. This is the plan of my presentation. There will be the history of energy in its nature, the energy economic model, a tokenized energy called energy, and correlation with traditional assets. So in the world where cryptocurrencies have become a financial asset, it's important not only to ensure the speed and safety of transactions, but to have competitive features that will solve lots of crucial problems like scalability, lack of governance, technological capabilities, and so on. So, and my presentation provides a review of an innovative cryptocurrency and the revolutionary blockchain system, Energy, which comprises the advantages of Ethereum and specially designed economic model that was developed to become a cryptocurrency that can be adopted all around the world, and also solve the initial problems that cryptocurrencies creators have faced. Energy was conceived by a person known as Tommy World Power on 4th of July 2017 in the vision of a strong, sufficient, and economically optimized cryptocurrency, which also combines layer 2 scalability system, smart contract capabilities, and centralized governance. And pre-development period consisted of engineering coin emission and allocations to miners. And also treasury and backbone systems were implemented. And finally, On April 14th, 2018, Energy Generation 1 was launched as a proof-of-work blockchain adapting the Dash code. But in Q1 2019, Energy Generation 2 accomplished transition from proof-of-work to proof-of-stake, and in the Q1 2020, Energies was upgraded to Generation 3, which made it a smart contract platform adopted from Ethereum, including all of its features, but incorporating Energy Treasury, Masternode, and governance system all together. And all of the steps were made by Energy of developers in order to solve the initial problems: user protection, lack of governance, technological capabilities, scalability, and lack of solid systems that could deal all of these above. And Energy solved these critical problems using the following features. First of them is Ethereum compatibility blockchain and smart contracts. So the Energy's entire system is Ethereum compatible platform. With the upgrade to Generation 3, Energy team developed a blockchain that is compatible with smart contracts. And Ethereum assets can be mirrored to the Energy blockchain, having the same address and its own private key. This compatibility is one of the main features that are initially important for Energy's long-term strategy of development. And by stimulating the development of thrifty decentralized application ecosystem of this blockchain, there will be a great variety of occurrences for this currency. It's something like Windows optimized compatibility to support the development of apps and to become a dominant OS. So, and Energy is aiming to become the best choice for decentralized apps developers. The next feature is its funding system. Energy's funding system was also created for long-term development and stability. Energy do not raise funds through ICO, which means initial coin offering, and it is funded by its own self-funding treasury system, which reduces the risk that large investors will influence this project, and in not a proportional way. And as Energy has 400,000 coins allocated to its treasury, it makes the Energy model one of the most powerful treasuries in the space. The treasury funds any Energy's attempt which supports contributors instead of relying upon volunteer work. Also, it's absolutely transparent. All the funds do not end up in the ICO wallets, but funding is built into the cryptocurrency rather than in so to say uncountable ICO pot. And funds are produced in small portions in an auditable manner every month. Initially, such a strong self-funding treasury boosts the growth for the whole project in a sustainable way, and it's intended not only to attract the best talents from all around the world, but to support all the initiative like ABI. It's a system of which protects Energy community from hackers, which also guarantees that there will be enough resources to fund the development of the project and its investors in the years to come. The next feature is the on-chain governance. It's one of the main features of Energy. It's a decentralized masternode governance system, and masternode hosts have a right to submit proposal and vote on them, and an agreement between them is obligatory for them to be accepted. It's the main rule of these masternodes. And these proposals define the long-term development strategy and indicate the way original organizational resources are used. This assures that the way the project is developed according to the interests of the most invested users. Also, in addition, the on-chain governance guarantees safety to all users, which also makes Energy unique. When Energy Generation 3 was launched, one of the main goals was to achieve the highest level of user protection in the world. And to make it possible, Energy gave masternodes the right to propose and vote on freezing the funds of bad actors. It also allows to conduct a proper investigation and enables it also enables the potential return of funds to users that had been targeted. The next feature is its speed and scalability. Lots of cryptocurrencies concentrate on the short-term period relative to their technology stack, but Energy was launched on the long-term goal of becoming the first cryptocurrency to achieve global adoption. And according to this idea, a scalable and fast blockchain was built to serve as a foundation for the whole ecosystem. Technical decision Energy makes is encouraged by the idea of maintaining the high speed and stability in the world. This including implementing the Layer 2 protocol that improves energy scalability as well as proof of stake system, unique masternode, and reward ecosystem, and Ethereum compatible smart contracts also. As Energy blockchain uses a proprietary code base, it provides unparalleled speed and efficiency, and also that ensures high-speed transactions, allows fees, along with the ability to sustain the advantages as Energy scales. The next one is the Energy economic model. So Energy was built as an economic model that is unique in the space. So by allocating significant portions of emission to the self-funding treasury and masternodes, Energy's approach ensures stability and sustainability for the whole ecosystem. Approximately 1 million Energy are released every month and divided between the Energy treasury, its masternodes, staking, and backbone. As you can see, 40% treasury goes to treasury. Funds from treasury ensure Energy development, its marketing, and the growth of team. Furthermore, community and its members can submit their own proposal to it. Masternodes also have 40%. The initial masternode's role is to provide the network with stability by transaction verification, and also masternodes provide governance by means of voting and submitting of proposals that are the base of making decisions when it comes to long-term strategy and energy resources allocation. And 10% goes to staking, which enables users of the network to stake energy. And Backbone also has 10%. But so instead of conducting a pre-mine and holding an ICO, Energy teams decided to take distributed compensation in course of time. So here is tokenized Energy E. In Q4 2020, tokenized Energy was launched on Uniswap, not only to create a bridge between Ethereum and Energy blockchains, but to ensure liquidity on Uniswap. Energy E was created as a tokenized version of Energy to work on Ethereum blockchain, which allows users to trade it on Uniswap for any other ERC20, which means Ethereum request for comment token. This innovation will make Energy more liquid, allowing users to buy large amounts of energy with minuscule price slippage. As it was already mentioned, Energy E can be swapped for energy at any time, but nowadays, minimum amount must be 1,000 tokenized energy or more. But it will be fixed in the future and there will be no limit at all. As Energy and Ethereum blockchains are compatible, users' private keys will work on both of them. Users need to send their tokenized energy to a special ransom address, and precise balance will be sent to their wallets on Energy blockchain by Energy core team. And of course, this process is going to be optimized in the near future. For instance, user A has swapped 1,500 Energy E for Ethereum, and from his 0x5431 Ethereum address, so as to redeem the Energy E for energy, this user sends their 1,500 Energy E to special ransom address, and Energy core team will transmit the same amount of energy at 1-to-1 ratio to his same address on the Energy core chain. Also, as user has the private key, which was mentioned already, they have access to the wallet, not only on Energy blockchain, but on the Ethereum blockchain. And with the launching of a newly designed tokenized Energy Teams offers users an, so to say, alternative means to join its community of a Ethereum network. And such an innovation brings Energy Team closer to completing the mission of adoption all around the world and consciousness in crypto. Here is the correlation with traditional assets. So here you can see that how it's correlated with traditional assets. And the first one, high correlation, indicates the movement of assets in one direction. Moderate correlation is characterized by decrease in correlation and an increase in dependence of pairs. And low correlation shows that there is particularly no correlation, and the assets do not depend on each other so much. So correlation can help you create an optional portfolio using energy and the traditional assets. And it shows that it's better to have the assets with high correlation as they move in the same direction. Otherwise, it will be really difficult to maintain your position, and the potential profit from your trade may be reduced. Here is the conclusion. So why would you choose energy? First of all, it solved the initial problems of user protection, lack of governance, technological capabilities, scalability, and lack of solid system that could deal with all above. Also, its treasury of energy, which fuels itself. Funds from the treasury pay for constant product development, marketing, merchant adoption, and team growth, which also help it achieve a goal, world adoption, and constantly boosts energy. Also, in my opinion, it helps it to provide high inflation rates. And it also has a powerful layer to masternode network, which enables high transaction throughput and scalability, and also a proposal system which allows users to vote on them and use energy resources together with its team. So that's all I wanted to say. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Ivan, very much. Dear colleague, let us go to discussion. So I'm waiting for your question, please.
Hello, dear colleagues. Do you hear me?
Clearly, quite well.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for your very interesting report. You were talking about the energy use. The question is, today we're going to decarbonize the society, decarbonize the world economy. And at the same time, we know that in order to produce crypto assets, for example, Bitcoin uses as much as almost 900 watts an hour to produce just one Bitcoin. So are we going to be are we going to be a greener economy in the world? Or is it going to be that we adopt such crypto assets and we produce these crypto assets and we are going to become less greener society? Do you understand the question?
Yeah, I understand it. So thank you for a question. In my opinion, undoubtedly we should do something on this situation. We should decrease the number of energy we use, so the amount of energy we use. And as I know, energy has a special team which is working on the way to decrease the amount of energy is used. And also, I think that it's not only about the people who mine cryptocurrencies, but about people who create technologies. They should do something with the amount of energy is used to mine the cryptocurrency, because nowadays I think that cryptocurrency is getting more popular because of its, for instance, taxes, because you don't have to pay so much, and we cannot do something about it will be popularized anyway, but we should do something. We should create some technologies that will just reduce the amount of energy is used.
Thank you very much. That was quite clear. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I'm glad, Professor Zharikov, that you're satisfied with the answer of our reporter. Dear colleagues, do you have any other question to our presenter?
I'm sorry, I do not
Не
hear.
слышно, не слышно. Включите. Включите. Мгм. Ivan, can you hear the voice of our expert Svetlana Eduardovna?
No, I can't really.
And now?
No, I still don't.
No, возьмите его.
Спасибо. So, sorry for inconvenience. Ivan, thank you for your presentation. As I understood, you have concentrated on safety of cryptocurrencies. But anyway, do you see any threats to security when we deal with cryptocurrencies?
So as for its security, as I already mentioned, that energy nowadays has its own masternode system, which has a proprietary code base. So it means all the transactions are controlled by its masternode systems, and for instance, if you were targeted, and this masternode system can easily freeze the transaction and conduct a return of your assets. So, as I know, there already were something happened with Ethereum, and they tackled this problem easily. And Energy uses the same code base like Ethereum uses, but it was upgraded by its masternode systems, which are not only which uses the system of proposals. So for instance, you want to make a transaction, it is also it should be confirmed by its masternode systems. And so, and I think the security system is much better than even Bitcoin has and Ethereum.
See, thank you for your answer.
Thank you very much.
Не слышно? Okay, thank you, dear colleague. We work in a very restricted framework. So let us go to our next presenter. Ivan, thank you very much for interesting report. And our second reporter is a couple of girls, Litvin Polina and Litovchenko Polina. Okay, ladies, I invite you to the screen.
Yes, we are uploading the presentation.
We are waiting.
So I hope you can see the screen.
Very clearly.
Okay, so today we would like to tell you about the assessment of the possibility of cryptocurrency development in Russia according to the Chinese model. Here is our plan. You can watch it for a few seconds in order to get acquainted with it.
So next, I would like to tell a couple of phrases as introduction. Well, distributed computing and decentralized information storages technologies, they first appeared back in the 80s. So in 2008, Bitcoin appeared. Well, this began the history of blockchain development. Digital nation currencies are a promising idea today, where the use of blockchain technology can have a positive effect. Some countries already have their digital currencies as the pilot stage. For example, France and Belgium, they are testing the European Union digital currency, but China is known for being one of the first to work on the digital currency that is called DCEP. The Chinese authorities have long been trying to solve the problem of its internationalization.
And now we want to talk a bit about history of the China's digital currency. There are the main stages of the development of crypto yuan can be divided into three large groups: preparatory stage, test stage, and real and applicable stage. And we would like to look a bit deep in each of this stage.
Well, talking about the first stage that is called preparatory, the work on the digital currency of the Central Bank of China has begun in 2014 with the idea of making their national digital currency. Active research lasted 5 years, and it was decided to create the digital currency in the cryptocurrency format using blockchain technology. In 2018, the idea of leaving money in digital format was developed. And in 2019, in summer, the completion of work of the Chinese cryptocurrency was officially confirmed. Then the transition to active development testing was very spontaneous. This was stimulated by the beginning of the coronavirus pandemic, and as the result of which the branch of the Central Bank of China was destroyed a little bit with the part of cash. This action was one way to limit the spread of the disease among the population. In addition, during this period, 80% or even higher of all payments were made electronically. Moreover, the financial regulator has entered into a partnership with 4 commercial banks and 3 telecommunications companies to test crypto yuan. They have developed independent strategies for introducing digital currency in the country's economy.
Talking about the testing stage, on April 15 in the last year, the largest Chinese bank, CCB, released a mobile application for testing the national currency. It is worth noting that Beijing has received patents for all those inventions that will be used in the circulation of the digital currency of Chinese, including for a proprietary crypto William. Since April 19, also last year, in such cities of China as Shenzhen, Suzhou, Xiongji, and other citizens had the opportunities to test crypto yuan. Since May of the last year, the Chinese authorities began to pay parts of transport subsidies to officials of the city of Suzhou in national cryptocurrency. In October, the authorities of Shenzhen through a lottery distributed 10 million digital yuan among 50,000 residents of the Luo district. On April of the last year, 19 retail companies from the areas of catering, retail, and entertainment were involved in testing the digital yuan. These are Starbucks, McDonald's, Subway, and the JD online store. Also, you can see here a QR code that will show you a video example of how this app was used.
Well, talking about the next step that we came up with, studying the Chinese crypto yuan implementation. It's called launching a digital yuan. Currently, China has completed the digital yuan testing phase, which confirms the country's readiness to launch a digital yuan. Well, firstly, they have a clear two-level model of the release and distribution of the digital currency, and the regulator represented by the People's Bank of China issued the DCEP and transfers it to state and systematically important banks in the country, and they distribute digital currency among other users. So it distributes the burden on the central bank and on the commercial banks. Secondly, the population is ready for this because now from 80 to 85% of Chinese people use cashless payments. For each resident of the country, there are 1.3 phones. They are smartphones, and the internet penetration rate is about 90%, and it is used by almost 1 billion people. It will be possible to pay with the digital yuan in those villages where there is no cellular communication. So, I mean, even at least some villages that are far away from the main cities, they also will have the opportunity to use crypto yuan easily and get some benefits from it. And the third point that I would like to mention, that today there is the necessary legislation and institutionalization support for the project, both from the big three telecom operations, China Mobile, China Telecom, and China Unicom, and from technology partners. So combining with the most important companies in China, the Chinese government uses this partnership to develop crypto yuan better and faster.
The implementation of the Chinese DCEP is scheduled for 2022, when the Winter Olympic Games will be held in Beijing. China has made clear that it wants to challenge the dominance of the dollar as the world currency. The digital yuan will accelerate the achievement of this goal and bypass competing Western cross-border payment network, such as SWIFT, which the United States often uses to impose sanctions. Danish Central Bank says that the digital yuan will be considered a currency not secured but gold. However, this will help introduce negative interest rates on cash and facilitate the targeting of nominal GDP. It is also notes that the creation of currency that can compete with the US dollar for the status of a reserve currency will sharply increase the level of consumption in China, become a source of financing for the new pension system, and deepen the country's capital markets.
What we want to pay attention to is that Chinese government uses all of the instruments like cooperating with big companies, and also using their biggest event of the 2022, such as the Olympic Games, to implement and spread the use of the digital yuan. Well, so now we would like to do some Russia overview and to see whether it is possible to use the Chinese steps to implement the digital ruble. Well, concerning Russia, this country is still in the initial stage of the development of the digital ruble. The idea of its appearance appeared in early 2020 and was stimulated by the rapidly spreading pandemic, as a result of which 85% of Russians used the internet to order goods or services. 81% of these people chose a cashless form of payment. Russia is significantly significantly different from China in terms of degree of integration of blockchain, the education of the population in the field of technology and modern payment instruments, as well as in relation to cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrency traders in Russia account for 15% of the total number of global users. In any case, Russia needs to do a large-scale job before it can successfully introduce the digital ruble into the country's monetary turnover.
Of course, China's experience will be useful for Russia, but some features of our country can create a number of difficulties. First of all, Russia does not actively participate in the use and development of cryptocurrency. Until January the 1st of this year, the use of this type of currency was considered illegal in Russia. With the entry into force of the new law on digital currencies, it was legalized, but it still cannot be used in Russia to pay for goods or services. Secondly, the Russian population more often prefers the cash method of payment, especially not in developed cities. For 2021, only 61% of Russians use contactless payments. To most of people of villages, settlements, and also pensioners, more convenient and more habitual to use cash because it isn't necessary to remember a PIN code and easier to estimate the expenditure. In addition, according to Sberbank, in Russia, 12% are shops, cafes, restaurants, and hotels where you can't pay with a card, not to mention digital currency. And the last thing to mention, testing of the digital ruble is already scheduled for the end of this year, although experts estimate the likely and necessary duration of domestic developments of their own digital currency at 2 years minimum. The majority of the population of Russia and the legislation are not yet ready for such an early implementation.
So now we would like to introduce some recommendations that we created for Russia. The program for introducing a digital currency in China is fairly unified and can almost suit most countries, but it is necessary to take into account the level of development of the particular country and its differences from China in order to make the proper adjustments. In order to speed up the in order to speed up and simplify the process of introducing the digital ruble into circulation, the following recommendations are offered. First of all, it is necessary to equally develop infrastructure throughout Russia. In the future, this will be important both for the introduction of the digital currency and for strengthening the country's economic security and its role in the international arena. Second recommendation is to develop the financial literacy of the population, to instill a culture of using cashless means of payment so that it's clear and easy to use and also safer. The example of China shows us that it is possible to attract the population, for example, by state lottery. Moreover, social assistance to pensioners in the development of digital currency and possibly benefits when using it is extremely important, such as promotions, discounts, and maybe partial cashbacks. And probably a short online course on the use of digital currency on the official website of the country's government would help people to get used faster and to take this innovation faster and more willing.
In conclusion, we would like to say that today blockchain technology is becoming mainstream and is already used by a variety of applications, which doesn't limit in only to cryptocurrencies. Therefore, its use is possible in a wide variety of areas of the economy, which is undoubtedly very promising. Digital currency is one of the areas where this technology can be best applied. It is worth noting that together with the launch of crypto yuan, the Chinese government is creating the basis for reaching a new level in its economy. As for Russia, it still has a long process to develop and introduce the digital ruble, although active work is already underway. Moreover, the situation cannot be completely identical to the Chinese experience. Russia will have its own way, taking into account all the failures of other countries. That's all that we wanted to say. Thank you for your attention. If there are any questions, we are ready to answer them.
Thank you, ladies, very much. I think that I express our mutual opinions that your presentation was wide and fruitful. So, dear colleagues, it is time for your question to our presenters.
May I have a question?
Of course, Professor Zharikov.
Thank you very much for the report. During the report, you said a few times, both of you, you used crypto yuan and digital yuan as interchangeable items. Do you really think that cryptocurrency and digital currency is the same thing? And thus the crypto yuan and digital yuan are also the same things? Or maybe you would like to elaborate on the issue and say a few words that a digital currency is this and this and this, such and such a thing, and a cryptocurrency is quite another one. Thank you.
Thank you for your question. It's really interesting, and we also were thinking about it, but we are sure that these items are interchangeable. We made a Google research and understand that the sample of digital currency is a cryptocurrency. So if we are speaking about the digital currency of China, we could also speak about the cryptocurrency, because they want to make their national digital currency in this format. On the basis of it, we used this like interchangeable.
Yes, also I would like to mention that China is one of the biggest countries that take part in mining the Bitcoin or other cryptocurrencies. So they are really familiar with this process, with how like blockchain works. And that is why being used to this kind of like cryptocurrency, they decided to create their own digital currency of their government using the principles and the idea of like cryptocurrency.
Professor
Okay, thank you very
Zharikov.
much.
Are you satisfied?
That's quite satisfactory. Thank you very much. Yeah, I'm satisfied. Thank you.
Maybe it is worth to add that there is a partial ban in China on the circulation of cryptocurrency, and the authority tried to somehow substitute the definition of cryptocurrency into digital currency, but we will think and we will wait and see how successful are they in their attempt to substitute one definition on another. Okay, dear colleagues, do you have any other question to our presenters? Okay, girls, you have question in our chat. Read it, please, and try to answer.
Okay, just a few seconds.
Do you think that Chinese digital currency could harm global stability? Thank you for your question.
Well, during the research on this subject, I have came across a few articles that were saying that like the Chinese government aims to use their digital yuan to take over the US dollar in the global market, and they would use their currency to make it as a reserve one. So maybe it will influence the global stability during if it will happen, it can influence the stability if the digital yuan would take over the US dollar, maybe during these times, and then the stability will be again on the global market. But I guess the economy is not stable at all. So whether it is digital currency of the China or it is something else, it
always unstable. Okay, and I want to add to my colleague that everything is changing, and every change produced some shocks on the market. So implementing the Chinese cryptocurrency also will consequence some crisis, but I think that it will be really short, and then this currency will help to circulate all the market in a better way. I mean that US dollar is no more the best variant for international trade. Perhaps the Chinese currency will help to work in this sphere much better than the US dollar. That's it.
We hope we answered your question.
Yeah.
Thank you, girls. Dear colleague Ngok Dao, are you satisfied with the question, with the answer of our presenters?
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. And thank you very much for your interesting question. And girls, it is my personal opinion, but nevertheless, I think it is a good idea, and maybe it may be topic of your future research. Why not? Very interesting theme.
Yes, we were thinking about continuing our work on this topic.
Mm-hmm. Interesting topic, interesting continuation, and maybe very interesting, even maybe diploma. Why not? So, dear colleague, do you have any other question to our reporters? No one. Okay. Then we go on, and thank you very much for your presentation. And now I give the floor to Belavina Anna. Anna, are you here with us?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Start, please.
1 minute. We are uploading the presentation.
Don't worry, we're waiting.
Well, I'm going to give a talk about Venezuela, experience of using the Petro currency. In the middle of economic crisis, Venezuela created the national cryptocurrency Petra with the aim of keeping people safe from inflation.
Anna, sorry for Anya, sorry for interrupting you. Be so kind, just a bit slower. I apologize for interrupting.
In the middle of economic crisis, Venezuela created the national cryptocurrency Petro with the aim of keeping people safe from inflation. In addition, this technology contributed to the control of the funds in the country, the transition from the dollar system in export-import relations, and the attraction of foreign investments into the country. The growing interest in Bitcoin and other
It seems to Anna has problem with the sound.
Was largely fueled by the rapid. Petro was designed to help Venezuela at the time when the country crumbling.
Anya, just a bit
А вы меня-
interrupting sound.
А сейчас вы меня слышите?
Yes,
Мгм.
now it's clear. Continue, please.
And the European Union. Since the Maduro regime launched Petro, its attempt to create a national cryptocurrency, Venezuela's open and public cryptocurrency ecosystem has been underestimated. There are 5 main reasons why Venezuelans are adopting centralized and public cryptocurrency. Firstly, it is stability. In addition to our failing economy and hyperinflation, it is difficult to make day-to-day transitions in Venezuela. So cash is a traditional payment networks. It is very overloaded, that it regularly takes hours and good luck to pay the equivalent of $4 to a taxi driver, for example. So it shouldn't come as a surprise that Venezuelans are using alternatives to preserve the value of their savings or make payments. The second, it is remittances, as more than 5 people have gone from Venezuela in recent years. So the remittances have increasingly become a lifeline, reaching at least 35% of Venezuela's households. This is where decentralized, neutral, and censorship-resistant cryptocurrencies could be used to mitigate the regime's control while helping Venezuelans continue to support their family and friends back home. Another reason it is humanitarian aid. As the Maduro regime continues to reject international aid and Venezuela is increasingly cut off from the global financial system, sending much needed humanitarian aid to Venezuelans had became a challenge. Cryptocurrency not only offers a direct way to donate to people in need, but donations also incur almost no cost from intermediaries. And the annual inflation rate in Venezuela climbed to 3,000% in March of 2021 from 2000 in February, according to the country's central bank. It was the highest inflation rate since January of 2020 amid the continued depreciation of dollar due to the COVID pandemic and still subdued oil production. Venezuela's cash shortages and hyperinflation have led to informal dollarization in the oil-reliant economy in recent years. So we can say that the government tries to control people's earnings, savings, and spending, and we can say that the government use Petro both in the national economy and international settlements because they try to use it in OPEC. Moreover, they try to pay their international flights by digital currency. Moreover, they pay social payments in the national digital currency El Petro. With the goal to help small and medium-sized agro-industrial businesses, they received loans in the national digital countries. So in conclusion, I would like to say that we can see that the government tries to support petrocurrency with the goal to control money in the country. So thanks for the attention.
Anna, thank you very much. And can I ask you, turn on your presentation once more. Come back to your presentation, please. And can I ask you to turn on your video while answering the question after your presentation? Be so kind. And turn on your video. Is it possible? Anya? Okay, while Anya is turning on her video, but we can't see your video still.
1 minute we upload.
Okay,
I
thank you
turn
very
on.
much. Dear colleagues, do you have any question to our presenter? Maybe written in our chat? Colleagues, I ask you to be more active in our discussions. Dear colleagues.
I have a question.
Please, Professor Цверко.
Associate Professor. Colleagues, thank you for your report. I have a question. Is there the need for any infrastructure to use cryptocurrency? Because you have mentioned that social payments are international digital currency. Can you hear me?
Включите микрофон.
So, girls, thank you for your report. My question is as follows. Is there the need for any infrastructure to use cryptocurrency?
As I know, the government tried to promote the cryptocurrency, and they gave some money for schools and universities, and they and the government does his best to support the population, but they don't give money, traditional money. They offer them cryptocurrency to save their money and their different infrastructure projects of different countries in digital currency.
Are you satisfied with our yes, partly. Yes.
Partly. Maybe some particular clarifying the problem. No?
No.
Okay. So,
Question in the written form or no one question in the written form.
Anya, two questions in written form. Read them, please, in our chat.
Could you explain how cryptocurrency can promote financial inclusion? In my opinion, I think the main goal of cryptocurrency in Venezuela is to save earnings and savings of population, and moreover, it's really important for companies to support and save their financial operations. And because in Venezuela there are many problems with money, the main goal of government to promote El Petro with the goal to control different financial operations.
Thank you, Anya. And next question from our colleague Debbie Daniel.
What is the difference of digital and cryptocurrencies? As you know, the main difference of the system, how it works. As you know, digital systems, it is the system of financial operations when the financial operations are providing from different internet technologies, whereas cryptocurrencies, it is like a national money, like in Venezuela.
Generally speaking, tell us the main difference. What is wider, digital currency or cryptocurrency definition?
Digital
Digital.
currency. Wider.
Okay, dear Professor Debbie Daniel, are you satisfied with the answer of our presenters? Okay, thank you. Thank you very much, dear colleagues, for your interesting questions. And thank you, Anna, for your report. Let us go on. And our next presenter, give me a minute. Our next presenter is Yemelin Kirill. We miss him very much at the very beginning of our session work. So now we are ready to listen to him. I think he has solved all problem with connection to our session.
Actually, I'm here. Hello.
I'm glad to hear it. Kirill, it's your turn. Start now.
Okay, so I'm just setting it up. I just need some additional permissions
Don't
for the screen
worry.
demonstration.
Don't worry. Upload it. We are waiting.
Okay, so I just need to relaunch the app for a moment. Please wait half a minute.
For a while, can I ask dear Professor Zharikov comment the answer of our previous reporter concerning difference between digital and cryptocurrency? Can you add something very valuable to answer of Anya Belavina? Professor Zharikov?
Do you hear me?
Now, yes. We are very interested in your deep and, of course, very supported maybe by all your previous researchers' answer.
Well, actually, digital currency, if we're speaking about the currencies of the central banks, the money of the governments, so they're going to be totally digital, and they're also going to be based on something, on the technology, the crypto technology to produce those currencies. But still, we got to differentiate between cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin and Ethereum and other currencies which are much more speculative in nature, and people just use those currencies in order to gain much profit in the trading operations and the market operations, and they are very, very dangerous in terms of financial stability for the global economy, for the world finance. If we're talking about digital currencies, the likes of which China is going to introduce, the crypto yuan or digital yuan, this is going to be quite a very different sort of a digital cryptocurrency. It's going to be more stable, and of course the government of China will control it, and the Bank of China, the People's Bank of China, is going to control the fluctuations of this currency. And I don't think that this sort of currency is going to do some harm for the global economy, at least for now. So that's that.
Thank you very much, Professor Zharikov, for very deep and well-grounded explanation on the subject. So, and now we are ready to listen to Kirill Yemelin presentation. Kirill,
Yeah,
I give you
thank you very much. Thank you very much. So, good morning.
Sorry for interrupting you once more. Kirill, be so kind and turn on your video while presenting your report.
Absolutely no problem. Let me just switch to Zoom. Okay. So, can you see me?
Not yet.
Because I can see myself clearly. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so one more question before we start. Can you see the presentation?
quite clearly.
All right, that's perfect. So good morning, everyone, once more. My name is Kirill Yemelin, and my article's topic is how justified is the feeling of anonymity while working with cryptocurrencies. So first of
I think we lost the connection to Kirill. Kirill, are you still with us?
I noticed with the problem.
Okay.
Yes, I seem to be still with you.
Mhm.
For example, I can hear everything you say very clearly, although it shows that my internet connection is not quite stable. Okay, so as you can see from the contents, I have decided to focus on two different cryptocurrencies, and for example, my R being the most anonymous one in some case. All right, so a brief introduction. Over the past decade, as many of you have noticed already, the interest, the public interest with cryptocurrencies has grown substantially. And the problem is, among other reasons of liking or disliking cryptocurrencies, like decentralization and novelty in total, many people think about of cryptocurrencies as being something anonymous. And the governments who try to restrict the usage of cryptocurrencies, they mostly say that those are anonymous and criminals may use it and so on and so forth. But unfortunately, or maybe even fortunately, recent discoveries during the investigations of some political activists, for example, Alexei Navalny's Bitcoin wallet has proven that everything can be traced in terms of Bitcoin. So this article's purpose is to clarify the topic of anonymity while using cryptocurrencies and to which extent is the technology responsible for it. Here you can see a brief list of the objectives of the research. Let me read them out loud once more. So the first objective is to perform an analysis of the algorithm structure and the possibility to de-anonymize the users of Bitcoin, the most renowned currency to this day. The second is to describe and research the core principles of the Monero cryptocurrency, which was created to serve as the most anonymous one. And of course, to compare the data acquired and to define the extent to which the feeling of anonymity while working with the cryptocurrencies is justified. Okay, so Bitcoin is the most popular currency in terms of crypto to this day. It serves as the front one when people want to explore the topic of cryptocurrencies. Bitcoin is the first thing that comes to mind. Well, every user in Bitcoin ecosystem, as you may know by now, is represented by a wallet address and the password to it. Here is a sample wallet address. It's actually the first one that came up when I opened the Bitcoin Explorer website. So as it uses everything, as you can open the UTBIT. And of course, a lot of other important details. So because of that, everyone on the internet can use this service or any other service to check the balance of any Bitcoin wallet. So in this case, it's not anonymous at all. But the advantage of a Bitcoin system when compared to the ordinary bank accounts and ordinary banking is that there is practically zero technical or documentary connection between the wallet and its owner. So anyone can use a Bitcoin wallet with any address and there can still be zero connection as far as the technology goes. But unfortunately, this approach to the anonymity is not quite anonymous, actually. It can still be openly used for the companies to profile people or, for example, to trace them. And thus, in the crypto community, it is more common to think about Bitcoin as a pseudonymous currency because it creates your digital persona, which is not necessarily connected to the real one, but even a single mention of your name next to your Bitcoin wallet address can open your persona to everyone. So the whole the whole anonymity operation can be undermined just by a single mention anywhere online. But how can the anonymity be connected and work together with the transparency of the blockchain? Well, because of that, the Monero cryptocurrency was established. First of all, you can see there the wallet address of the Monero wallet is much longer. First of all, this offers any user to create a lot more wallet addresses than Bitcoin does. You can see that they're actually almost twice as long, if not more. Because of that, the creation of stealth addresses is possible. The transactions can be viewed by anyone, but they will not show the sender's address, and for additional fee, you can even hide the recipient's address via the stealth addresses to which the funds actually go. So, because of that, there are some technical difficulties. For example, when you launch your Monero wallet, you can't view your balance right after it. The system shall scan the whole ecosystem in search of the stealth addresses connected to your main one, and only then it will view your balance. It will show your balance to you. So no one from the outside, actually without the password, can view the balance of the wallet, unlike Bitcoin. And almost all related information can be obscured via the complicated mathematical algorithms, though leaving just enough data for verification. As you can see on the screen provided, the only interface that can be used to view and observe the transactions is the proving window right here. So it will require a transaction hash, which is available mostly to the wallet's owner and can be openly shared, the address, either of a sender or the recipient, and a special view key. So the amount of attributes needed to discover even one simple transaction is of course significantly larger than the one of Bitcoin. But because of that, it can leave just enough data for verification. So let us just view it in a simple, more recognizable form, in the form of a table. Here you can see that the main advantage of Bitcoin is popularity, while Monero is security. In both currencies, the owner cannot be identified if not declared publicly. The transactions are public in each case, although while both can be verified, only Bitcoin allows outside users without any special information, without any special codes, to view the transaction fully. So Monero uses stealth address, once again, and without a YuKey, it is impossible to check the balance of another wallet, which doesn't belong to you. With a special thing called ring transaction mixing, it is impossible to trace even the amount of funds sent. And for a slightly larger fee, it is possible to even hide the origin of the funds. So, as we can see, Monero, in terms of anonymity, Monero goes much further. Although the transactions and the anonymity can still be undermined by something accidental, like, for example, leaving the codes somewhere in public. Although, because of the amount of the codes, it's much harder to do that because of the human error than with Bitcoin, which only requires your address. So, the conclusion. The popularity of the crypto has grown substantially over the last decade, yes, and the currencies, not only the ones provided, for example, Ethereum and many others, the energy discussed by one of the previous contenders, they all have very different approach to the privacy topic. And of course, Bitcoin leaves all the decisions, exactly one decision of whether to reveal your actual name next to your wallet, to the user, not preserving the anonymity at all, while Monero gives its user access to just the right amount of information to verify the transactions. because if you can't verify the transactions, everyone can fake it, and then the topic, the reason of cryptocurrency being a currency just is destroyed. However, neither of the systems are immune to the human factor. Monero just makes the occasional leak less likely to happen because of the amounts of the data. So right now you can see the list of references which are used in the original article, and that's all for now. Thank you for your attention, and if you have any questions, I'll be more than happy to answer them.
Thank you, Kirill, very much. Dear colleagues, do you have any question to our current presenter?
Yeah, Vladimir, please.
Mm-hmm. You can
May I have
ask.
a question?
Wait for a while. Who is the first?
Let Mikhail Vyacheslavic be the first one.
Mikhail Vyacheslavic?
Yeah, please.
Thank you very much for the report, Kirill. Kirill, the question is, this morning, Bitcoin lost 15% of its value, and Elon Musk decided to discontinue temporarily to accept Bitcoin for the purchase of Tesla cars. What do you think about this?
I think that
what are the consequences? What are going to be the consequences of this?
Okay, so personally, I tend to think very skeptically towards the crypto market in general. I think that this market is way too big for the one based solely on the trust of the currency, which cannot be represented at all in the physical sense. But I think that it's normal since we live in the times of maximal market volatility because of the amounts of investors, both traditional and crypto ones. So I think that the consequences will be not nullified, but slightly less drastic, as for example with some companies like the famous fall of Virgin Galactic earlier this year. And I think that the stability of traditional stocks and traditional currencies is much more important in this case. So that's why I'm being very skeptical about the cryptocurrencies boom, and I decided to wait for a little and to do a more full research, even in terms of anonymity, as this research proves.
Okay, it is your right,
okay.
Of course, Kirill.
Thank you very much.
Sorry
Thank
for
you very much for
interrupting
your
you.
answer.
Yes,
it's all right.
Satisfactory.
Interesting opinion. And who is next in question?
Yeah, I also have a question for Kirill.
Ivan, please.
Kirill, thank you very much for your interesting presentation. And I have a question. So you mentioned that Bitcoin is only partly anonymous, and it's so to say, if it's not that much anonymous, it's not that decentralized. And I have a question. For instance, if you have a masternode system, which means you mine over 10,000 Bitcoins, and someone, for instance, he managed to know who you are, and is it dangerous for you? And if it's really so, why Bitcoin is so expensive? If it's not that decentralized?
Okay, I'm not talking about it being not that decentralized. I have focused on the topic of anonymity mostly. Of course,
yeah,
Bitcoin is
not that
almost
anonymous.
Yes, it's not that anonymous, and I think that the Bitcoin is popular because it's first of all, it's the first one to reach the heights, to reach the minds of the most people, and of course, as with all entirely trust-based topics and trust-based tokens, as all the cryptocurrencies mostly are. We can say that Bitcoin is just the first one, and that's why it gets the most attention. Of course, the people who prefer anonymity, they switch to the other cryptocurrencies, and Bitcoin is not only not that anonymous, but also every Bitcoin has its own number. Let's say that, its own number, so every Bitcoin can be traced, and this problem is solved in Monero too, because it's you know, Monero is closer to the traditional currencies in this case because every Monero is the same completely. But in terms of danger, I think that entirely depends on the person who have discovered your connection to your wallet. So if his intentions are just to cooperate, then it's not that dangerous. But if he or she, or even they, if they want to undermine the operation, to close your farm, then of course it might be a reason for you to think better about the security of your farm.
Okay, thank you very much, Kirill.
Okay, I see that Ivan is, oh, sorry. I see that Ivan is satisfied with Kirill answer. So, dear colleague, I kindly ask you to give me a favor. Please turn on all your videos. We will make a pleasant pause in our blog and take a general photo of all our session. I think it will be interesting and very, very good. Even amazing. Okay, I'm waiting for a while. Victory Train, Tsai Hong Sai, Hetman Nguai, Queen Vu, dear Vietnamese colleague, let us make a photo, take a photo of all of us, of our session. Okay, thank you. Okay, wait 1 minute more. I'll repeat the photo. Once more. Thank you very much. And now we continue our work. So, one more person appears on our horizon. So, our next presenter is Ryabov Nikita. Kirill, thank you very much
hello,
for
do you
your
hear me?
presentation. Yes, Nikita, you can start.
Okay, 1 second.
Don't worry, we are waiting for your uploading.
Fine. So do you see my presentation?
Not yet.
Even now?
Just a minute. Yes, we can see.
Okay, hello. So hi everyone. I would like to tell you about the possibility of technical analysis tools in case of predicting the value of stablecoins. My name is Nikita Ryabov, and let's start. So
let us discuss stablecoins.
Yes,
okay,
stablecoins.
Very interesting thing.
Thank you. So a little bit introduction. You know, when we talk about cryptocurrency, everybody knows that it is a high volatile instrument, and everybody heard that you can get a lot of money in a little time, but also you can lose everything in much less time. So because of that, the question of predicting of price of cryptocurrencies is very urgent and still popular. Yes, and while it is still volatile, it is there are still a lot of works about it. But I saw that there are stable coins which by definition has a stable price. There is a very little count of number of works dedicated to predicting the price of stable coins. So what is a stable coin? Stable coin, it is a cryptocurrency which is backed by some other asset. For example, dollar, euro, gold, oil, as for example El Petro. We heard about it. And the most popular crypto stablecoins are backed by dollar. So the price of a stable coin usually is stable by definition and by the fact. And as you see, what maybe the main question, why do we need to predict the price of stable coin if it is stable, if it isn't changing? But in fact, it changes. As you see in the table, the graph of the most popular stablecoin Tether changes, has some hesitations. But if we have a look in the another scale, we will make it later. We will see that these hesitations are very little, but sometimes they can reach 5% of the stable level. So also, Tether is as I said, the most popular stable coin. It is backed by dollar, and we see that it has the biggest volume of trading in 24 hours every day. And we can see that Bitcoin, which is second in this rating, has twice less volume of trading. So that makes this work maybe actual, as I think. So let's start. So I decided to make an analysis of predicting the price of stablecoins. And first of all, I wanted to start with technical analysis. That's the aim of my work. And so how did I make it? I created a Telegram bot which parses the price of the stable coins and after updates them and calculates automatically the indicators. Also, the main point of the bot is to automatically notify users with advice to buy or to sell the stablecoin. You can play with it in Telegram by the address Crypto Diplom Bot. So also, what about functionality of this system I've created? User can configure the rules of checking of threshold. Also, the interface is Telegram bot, as I said, and the program and database fully operate on the server. And I made the system very flexible for developers. So they can easily add new cryptocurrencies or another indicators in it, and it will work. So a little bit more about my system. Now it analyzes 5 stable coins: Tether, USDC, Binance USD, DAI, and the USDK. And there is a list of the indicators which are analyzed in the system. Don't be shocked by the graphs, by the scheme. It is architecture of the developed system. Okay. And this is this scheme of interface. It is quite simple, but I guess if you play with the bot, you can easily understand the whole user journey of the system. Also, as I said, you can check the price and the current indicators of each stable coin, and then you can there is a setting menu in which you can configure the rules on which you want on which indicators you want the system to check, on which indicators you want to be notified about. So how easily I can say it, like when some indicators pass the threshold, you get notifications that the current coin is in the growing trend. So you can, in settings, you can set on which indicators you want to be informed about. Sorry, if it is if I didn't shed a light on it, you can write in the chat. I'll try to answer. Also, so this is the interface of the bot, some screenshots. Also you can see it in the Telegram. And let's continue with the analyze of with instruments of technical analysis. Here is the graph of USDT, Tether, the most popular stable coin. We see that in one day it had some hesitations, and they were for a long time. And we can see that instrument of technical analysis, such as a simple moving average in 7 and 25 days, here can help you to check these deviations. So here we can see that simple moving average in 25 and 7 days can be helpful for this cryptocurrency because they follow the price. But let's have a look at USDK. It is a fifth stable coin. If we talk about capitalization in the time when I did this work, it had a lot of deviations out of $1 level, and we can see that on the other graph, which is in another scale, for more simple look, that the exponential moving average, even in 7 days and 25 days, don't get in time with the price deviations. So when, for example, here, when the price has changed the trend, then changed again, then moving average reacts on the previous trend changing. So we can say that in this case, for that currency, technical analysis is unhelpful. So what about other cryptocurrencies? One second. My system analyzes 5 cryptocurrencies, and we can see that on USDC and BUSD, the same picture as in USDK, there are a lot of hesitations for a short time, and technical analysis is not appropriate for that. While there is a cryptocurrency named DAI, which is more stable, and it still has hesitations, but for a long time, and for that cryptocurrency, technical analysis can work good. So let's conclude my speech. I analyzed the possibility of using instruments of technical analysis to predict the value of stable coins, and we can see that only for the most stable coins, these instruments are helpful, while for other, which are other cryptocurrencies, stable coins, which has a lot of deviations, it is inappropriate to use stable coins. Also, as a part of work, I created a system in Telegram bot, in which you can see the price, the current values of indicators, and so on. Thank you for attention. I wish it was helpful for you to hear it. So I see there are some questions.
Thank you, Nikita, very much. We enjoy your presentation. Dear colleagues, do you have any question to our presenter? colleagues? Okay, I ask you, Nikita, I have two questions to you. Unfortunately, I got a little organizationally distracted, so I haven't heard how you has made the decision in case when indicator gave you conflicting recommendation, gave you conflicting signal. According to the exponential moving average, it is okay. They are absolutely coincide. In your case, as far as I understood, you took 27 days moving average, yeah?
I took 7 and 25 moving average.
7 and 25, yeah.
Yes.
But when any other technical indicator contradict to each other, how your bot made the decision?
Okay.
How you wrote the program?
So that's let's see. Here is the screenshots of interface, and as you see, there are some indicators on the right screen.
For example, ball and convergence and divergence, they are not very rarely contradict.
Yes. So I added to the system classical indicators like moving average, RSI, MACD, and also specific indicators like Bollinger lines. But there is an opportunity for user. I'll try to pick. So the system counts the indicators, and in one time it checks the indicators on the threshold with the threshold. So is this does this indicator signalize that it is a good time to send or to sell or to buy this cryptocurrency? If yes, then the flag goes like true. If no, then false. And the user in the setting menu makes
they
on
omit
which,
the next. Okay.
Yes.
So
yes, on
you gave the priority to different indicator.
Yes. So if a user
wants
to check with Bollinger lines, for example, he can set in a menu that the system must check with this indicator. But by default, it isn't.
I see. Thank you very much. My second question is, can you comment on, I don't remember exactly, last or before last 2 years ago scandal over the undersupply of Tether with backed asset. Can you somehow comment this scandal? With concerning all other stable coins.
To shed a light on it for other participants, the investigation showed that Tether is supplied only by 75% of the whole volume of the money. What?
A very tricky scene.
Yes, but as we see, so for me, that means that the currency USDT must be traded on the level of 75 cents. But now it is trades on the level of $1. That's very strange for me. So I see like that stable coins is not an instrument for saving your money in the case of for example, if you want dollar, or if then you can buy USDT, and then you have the same dollars. USDT usually used for trading on the cryptocurrencies, because there are some benefits for you. For example, like on Binance, if you trade with Binance USD, you get some bonuses like less commission or something else. So I see like it is an instrument not for paying, but it is like an instrument for the stable coins now aren't used separately out of.
I see. So,
of-
how do you think can this deception be repeated in the nearest future, maybe?
with other stable coins.
It doesn't matter. With stable, any stable coin.
Yes, I guess it can be because stable coins are established by the companies, and a lot of companies don't show their real supply of
The backed assets, yeah?
Yes, and that's why there was scandal about Tether company, and it can continue with other companies, and that's.
Thank you very much for your opinion. It's partly coincide with my own. Dear colleagues, do you have any question to our presenter? No more question. Nikita, thank you very much for your interesting presentation.
Thank you.
And now let us go to, sorry, I apologize. I promise one of my girls, I forgot to whom. Голубева.
I'm here.
Ksenia, please turn on your video.
Yeah, one second.
Switch it on. Okay. Thank you. And you can start your presentation.
Can you see it?
Not yet. Wait for a while. I can see.
So the main purpose of my presentation is to provide information that will somehow help to answer the question of concern to many. Are cryptocurrencies safe enough to be used as a currency of any country? Undoubtedly, in order to answer this question, it is necessary to consider the blockchain technology directly related to the functioning of the cryptocurrency. Actually, I want to talk about the government usage of cryptocurrency because many people already use cryptocurrency or blockchain system for personal use. So first of all, blockchain is now a complex, affordable, and secure system. Blockchain security requires, as you can see, a digital record of transactions that is considered incorruptible. In addition, blockchain uses a mutable public key to record the identity of users, which provides an additional layer of confidentiality. In this case, the blockchain system looks attractive for the government use because of its incorruption and less risks. Actually, not only cryptocurrency has the successful adoption of blockchain, as also you can see on the screen, and not only for the personal usage, but also for the usage of some companies, which you can see on the left, and usage of kind of public sectors, which you can see on the right picture. Actually, blockchain is widely used in spheres like distributed storage systems, proof of location, healthcare, decentralized voting, and so forth. Due to this, the system of blockchain might be easily used in a lot of spheres which government controls, but more interesting to talk about the opportunity of usage of blockchain and cryptocurrency on the government level. I want to start with the security of blockchain system. As you might know, the blockchain system is either public or private. And in public blockchain, it enables all the users with read and write permissions, but sometimes it also has some limitations when it provides users either with reading or writing. And private blockchain, the main difference between public and private blockchain is that the last limits the access to selected trusted participants only. It is actually used for keeping the user details concealed. And private blockchain is particularly passionate among the government institution due to its limitations, and also it is more attractive because of the importance of the operations on the government level. Also, I would like to talk about the characteristics of blockchain, and actually these are also the reasons of wild usage of blockchain. We should mention some like transparency, public implementation, incorruptible character of it, which is also might be called like inviolability. And this last characteristic is based on a public nature of blockchain, and the public implementation make people trust because the data remains unalerted, as any changes will be publicly verified. And despite the fact that technology is public, which might be like risky or something, or might look risky, the data in the blocks are encrypted by a private key and hence cannot be interrupted by everyone. Also, according to these three facts, authority would look more trustworthy in citizens' eyes or with using of blockchain, and also it will be secured about the ability of kind of notch all the information completely, also by, for example, using the private blockchain. Another considerable advantage of blockchain is decentralization of systems, so no single device for storing the data, no approval of an authority, and also the system of adding information is a really interesting factor because no information can be added before being validated by all the participants of the relevant blockchain ecosystem. And actually, these two factors, decentralization and system of adding information, make us understand that usage of cryptocurrency on government level is impossible, because it would just contradict the main characteristic of blockchain, because by introduction the cryptocurrency on the government level, it definitely will be controlled and centralized, and as you understand, that contradicts the main characteristics. And also the blockchain provides mechanism for peer-to-peer transactions without need of any intermediary bodies such as the existing commercial banks. And this fact also shows the impossibility, because it is obvious that introduction of cryptocurrency on the government level at any country will actually ruin its economical system with the existing commercial banks. Also, actually authorities or regulators, they believe the blockchain because its ability to offer secure, private, and traceable real-time monitoring of transaction. But there are also some difficulties in introduction blockchain at any country, because it strongly depends on the national political decisions, and also the blockchain is now offered and kind of suitable for developing nations, but as I said before, it really depends on national political decisions. And as a conclusion, I would say that, in my opinion, blockchain system might be used on the government level at almost any country, because it provides really secure, it is secure, and it is suitable, and also that is trustworthy. But the cryptocurrency on the government level, I think, is just impossible and inefficient to be introduced. So thank you for your attention. And if you have any questions, I would like to answer.
Thank you very much, Ksenia, for your presentation. And dear colleague, do you have any question to our presenter?
Yes, I have.
Mm-hmm.
Can you hear me?
Unfortunately.
Ксения. Владимир, ну написано, организатор отключил мой звук, а у меня включен. Kсения, thank you for your report. What is your opinion about the usage, possibility of the usage of blockchain? Maybe speaking broadly, distributed ledger technologies in public debt management. Because there are some advantages, of course, of blockchain transparency, for example, and so on. And it is one of the advantages and the requirements in public debt management. So what is your opinion about the possibility to use it in public debt management? Ksenia, can you answer? Ksenia? Do we have a problem maybe with the sound? Ksenia, can you hear us? Unfortunately, no answer. So, dear colleague, it is obviously then some problem, some technical problem. It is obviously that Ksenia can't hear us properly. So, I even don't know. Let me see our participant. Unfortunately, I can't. Just a minute. Just a minute. No camera.
Hello.
Ksenia?
Sorry, I think that yes. Can you hear me? I think the connection just was lost.
You have lost the connection. Okay. Let our expert ask you once more. Can you hear us properly right now?
Yes, right now, yes.
Question was about possibility of the usage of blockchain in public debt management. Ksenia?
So actually, I think that it depends on the country, just mostly because the decisions of authority would affect it. Also, the infrastructure, the readiness of people living there also would affect it. And I think there is a possibility to do that also in the developed and developing countries, on both.
Okay, thank you. Dear colleagues, do you have any other question to our current presenter? Colleagues, no question. So I think that we work very well, and we finish our first session block even earlier than it was planned. My proposal is to have coffee break till the 12:20, and after this coffee break we continue our work, because we have our next presenter, Maria Kadyseva and Abrekov Magomed. So after this break, we have to listen to very interesting presentation of two participants. So I thank you for your participation, and let us meet once more at 12:20. I thank our experts for their work. I thank all our presenters for this block of our session. So let us have a break. I see. Oh, sorry. Maria Kadyseva. I may change my mind because we have time, a lot of time till our official break. So can you present your report right now?
Yes, okay.
Just a minute. Just 1 minute. Hello. Yeah. Да. Вот где Кравчук или кто он там? Ой, сейчас она придет, у меня просто сейчас идет презентация. Ладно? Okay, so I change my mind. Dear colleague, we have one more presenter, which we, according to our plan, we have to listen to after the short break. But Maria is ready, and we can listen to her presentation right now. Does anybody have objection? No one. Yeah. Okay. Maria, start, please.
Okay. Now I'm just download the presentation. Can you hear me properly? I hope you can see the presentation and hear me well. So, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Today I would like to talk about digital currency, the process of the implementation in the economy. My name is Kadyseva Maria, so let's start it. Today, the blockchain technology allows you to solve almost any standard task for verifying facts, events, or transactions in the conditions of the plurality of a person united by a single electronic database. The industry of interaction with the technology is growing every year, From 2017-2019, the main priority was to study the blockchain, but in the 2019, there was a shift in the focus on patent inventions. So financial organizations interact with the blockchain technology in the following formats, like a practical implementation of the blockchain real world application scenarios. Second one, patenting of blockchain inventions and the investments in blockchain companies. So these graphs show that in the period from 2014 to 2019, the average annual growth rate was for practical implementation of the blockchain 144%, for patents and patent application for blockchain inventions 226%, and for example of investing in blockchain companies 145%. In terms of the number of examples of practical implementation of blockchain technology, financial institutions in the United States lead the way by a significant margin from other countries. This country account for 158 examples of implementation. Then it goes China with 56 examples, and etc. It's followed with a slight lag. Nevertheless, despite the attempts of authorities to prohibit the private use of decentralized centers, China paradoxically remains the world leader of the field in the field of blockchain. In absolute terms, in the field of patenting blockchain inventions, financial organization is the United States leads, but with the calculating these indicator for one financial institution that interacts with the blockchain technology, it was found that in relative terms, Chinese financial institutions are leading in the field of patenting blockchain inventions. In this country, there are an average of 13 inventions per financial institution, and the financial organization in the United States are slightly behind the leader. It's just 12 inventions and average per financial organization. In case of cryptocurrencies, blockchain means new opportunities for making payments outside of the traditional financial system. Thus, in the wake of the growing popularity of digital money, many global regulators have begun to develop their own digital currencies. Many central banks have announced discussion about the possibility of launching their digital currency. At the same time, a number of national digital currencies may be launched in the coming years. Now, the world's leading regulators consider the crypto space as a platform where the most effective models are tested without risk for the existing financial system. But with the introduction of its own money, currencies, the rules will become tougher. So China is well ahead of other countries in launching central bank digital currencies. So during this period of time, China has already completed the third stage of testing their national digital currency, digital yuan, and the bank accounts of persons caught in mining have been blocked. But the media of official Beijing specifically emphasized that digital currency electronic payment does not apply to blockchain technologies. Returning to the countries that are already in the process of developing a digital currency, Russia is definitely not in the last place of this race. The Bank of Russia is developing a special program for the implementation of the digital ruble. We can highlight the main steps on the way to this. This is the 7th stage from the idea to the implementation of the digital ruble. First step, it is a publication of their adversary reports. It is a current stage. Second one, conducting public consultation. development of the digital ruble concept, analysis of piloting results, then a piloting of the digital ruble on a limited number of users, development of the digital ruble platform, and the last step, it is making the decision on the feasibility and stage by stage launching of the digital ruble. And implementation. But the terms of implementation of each of the stage will be determined in the future, including taking into account the results of public consultations. When developing projects, the central bank will take into account such aspects as the user properties of the digital ruble, the impact of its implementation of the financial system, models and mechanism for the circulation of the digital ruble, ensuring information security of the digital ruble circulation system, as well as legislative and regulatory changes to create a legal base for the implementation of the digital ruble into monetary circulation. So the implementation of the digital ruble requires the creation of an additional payment infrastructure. During the development of the project, the Central Bank of Russia intends to make a comprehensive assessment for the features of various models of the digital ruble and its implementation technologies in terms of providing necessary digital properties for the population and business, as well as the information security requirements. So far, the issue of technical implementation of the project is open. And 2 years ago, everyone was sure that the blockchain technology would be used for the digital ruble. But however, in the use of blockchain technology, Russian experts see certain risks from the information security side. As one of the options for the technical implementation of the digital ruble platform, Central Bank consider the technology of distributed ledger technology, where the object of accounting in distributed register is a token. It's also hypothetically possible that a fast payment system will be used for payments in digital rubles, and the national payments card system will be actively involved in the development. Third option, it is a centralized registry or a hybrid model that can combine the advantages of each technology where it is the most appropriate. However, there may again be different options, and everything will be depend on the chosen technology. So far, the national payment card system doesn't use blockchain. Nevertheless, as the expert notes, the blockchain is ahead of the entire digital economy. The development of this technology is becoming a priority for countries. It's also an important fact that more than half of the patent families are in the direction of using blockchain technology in the financial sector, according to which 74% of the central bank of the world are interested in blockchain technology. So benefits from the central bank digital currency, it is allows the central bank to directly manage the money supply and hence inflation. It also solves the problem of trust and number of others, including the financing of public debt. So how much the blockchain will eventually become an economic messiah is not so obvious, but it is already clear that this technology can radically transform the infrastructure of the financial market. So this is the end of my presentation. Thank you for your attention. And does anyone have any question?
Thank you, Maria, for interesting presentation and really actual one, because regulation of digital currency and in more details, cryptocurrency is very important moment in all society, not only in Russia, but problem with it we have in Vietnam, in China, and their down top experience of not legislation, but summarizing the experience of digital currency circulation in Canada, we can see and make conclusion concerning our own country's digital currency legislation, and etc. and so on. But my question is, do you know something about soft regulation of digital currency in Great Britain, in Switzerland?
I think not.
No. Okay, it is not a problem. It's just a question. So, why? What is the main reason that in such country as Vietnam, Bolivia, there is partial ban on the cryptocurrency circulation? Can you see can you tell us your own opinion on the subject?
I think their governments sees some problems for some problems with the okay, I'm sorry.
Don't worry. If you don't have any, if you don't have your personal opinion, just tell it honestly, and that it. Maybe I ask our participant, for example, Gokfu San or some other colleagues from Vietnam to clarify the question about it.
I don't know, maybe some security problems for the information, and I don't know, in China it's also prohibited, the mining and all
mining in China, but according to my information, the most miner allocated in China.
It is for now. I just read some news, and for their digital currency, an official digital currency, it said that many people, the bank accounts of persons caught in mining have been blocked.
Yes, I see. Thank you, Maria, for your interesting presentation. Dear colleague, do you have any question to our reporter, to Maria? No question. So thank you, Maria. And now I would like to involve our Vietnamese partners in our discussion. Can you clarify the question of partial ban on the circulation of cryptocurrency in your country? Colleagues? Who may clarify the question? Who may express your own opinion on the subject? Dear colleagues? No opinions. Okay, let us leave this question to our next meeting. So I really announce break, 20 minutes break. And I'm waiting for you, for your presence. We have one interesting report to discuss, report of Magomed Abrekov, determinants of ICO success. It is this topic of his report. So till next meeting in 20 minutes then. See you. Okay, dear colleague, I am greeting you once more. And the last presentation that we have to discuss for our today program, for our today agenda, is the topic of Magomed Abrekov, determinant of ICO success. Let us wait for a while. He is uploading his, he's entering our session and uploading the presentation. After that, I think we will listen to him and ask him certain questions. By the way, I remind you about the necessity to fulfill our questionnaire after the finishing our work. And we will send you after this just small feedback, we will send you certificates of participation. Okay. Magomed, are you with us? Let us wait. Dear colleague, unfortunately, I haven't noticed that my microphone was switched on, so I announced, but you haven't heard me properly. So I apologize. We are waiting for a while because the student has a difficulty with joining us, and we try to solve his problem. After that, we'll try to listen to his interesting presentation, because I think it is my personal opinion that the topic of determinants of ICO success is very interesting and closely related to the theme of our conference. So we are trying to help him during next 5 minutes. Otherwise, we switch our session off. Ну что? Подключился? Magomed, join us, please.
Yeah, hello everyone. I'm so sorry for all these problems.
Okay, are you ready to upload the presentation?
Yeah, I am.
We are waiting.
How can I? My presentation is open, but Yeah, I found it. So can you see my
Yes,
screen?
we can see it.
Okay, so let's play.
Let us start.
So today's presentation, my presentation is about determinants of ICO success. Everyone in the world after the great success of Bitcoin and Ethereum and other cryptocurrencies returns realized that they can invest in crypto assets and earn returns higher than on traditional financial market. And because of it, the number of initial coin offerings, which is kind of version of initial public offerings, but in crypto asset markets. And because of this, the number of ICOs and the projects in the crypto area increased. Hence, in this work, I'm trying. Hence, in this work, I was trying to determine the factors which can assist investors to determine ICO projects which can give them a high level of returns by analyzing variety of characteristics. First of all, let me say that there are two ways of computing returns. Like first one, like that used in this research. First way is when tokens or another way to say cryptocurrencies are bought during public offering, and the second way is during the first day of sales on their secondary market. I didn't use the other time period when the token can be bought because it would be too complicated for computations. And the model considers a few time periods like 1 day return, 7 day, 30 day, 180, 365 day returns, and the current return, which is a certain day in the March when the data collection was performed. And when all the data was gathered, initially I was checking whether the data was normally distributed, and as can be seen from the slide, returns of the model were distributed properly, and hence I decided to compute logarithmic values of those returns. And when the logarithmic values of those returns were computed, some returns were distributed properly, whereas others they weren't distributed properly. And one more point that I should notice that because there are two ways of computation of returns in this research. There are two types of the model. The first one is a return on token, when the token bought on the first day of sales, and the second way is a return on token with the side X, which means that tokens were bought during the initial coin offering and then sold at the end of the first day of sales. So here we see that like logarithmic values only helps to for certain variables. Then I checked the distribution of another variables which can affect the success of the higher returns of the tokens or the assets. And one of those variables was return of Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is a dominant cryptocurrency on the market, and more than 50% of the market capitalizations belongs to Bitcoin. And here we see this. Here I noticed the same results. That initial returns they weren't distributed properly, but some logarithm returns they distribute properly, and then also. And other variables which were included, which were potentially, which could potentially impact on returns, the number of white paper, number of pages in white paper, because white paper is the main document where founders of the project give their ideas and how this project, how this crypto asset will perform. Also, another factor is the number of raised funds, number of team members, number of advisors for this project. Also, the number of restrictions, country restrictions, and this means that that how many citizens from different countries were restricted from participation in this in the ICO. Another factor was a number of listed markets, number of total followers on social networks, longevity of the ICO, longevity of listing, and also such longevity factors as period between the end of the ICO and as the day of return computation, which are illustrated as longevity 7-day, longevity 30-day, and etc. And all of these results, they weren't distributed, so they were logarithmic, and some of them begin to normal distribution, but some of them no. Now let's get straight to the model and see the results of the model. Here we see the results of the model, and as can be seen, the R squared of this model lies between 0.11 and 0.38, and it's of course surely it does describe the whole range of changes, but in some essence it does, and in most of their regressions the value of f test was significant, as can be seen from the last line. So about the results here, we see that the number of white paper pages in all the time periods were positively affected on returns. The project code availability to the public negatively affected, perhaps because of some errors in the data sample, but this can be double checked. Also, it was discovered that the acceptance of fiat or traditional money during the ICO negatively affected on their further returns. The very strange results were received from in regards to the acceptance of the Bitcoin as the currency, because there's the results are changing in some periods, as can be seen. The results are negative, and it negative as acceptance of Bitcoin, a negative effect on the returns. But in other periods, like during computation of 7-day return, it affected and not I'm sorry, in computation of 180 days return, it positively affected. When it comes to the Ethereum acceptance as a currency during the ICO, we see that it has different results in different periods, but in half of the time, but in half of their returns, the acceptance of Ethereum had a positive effect. Also, very strange results were in regards of hard cup and soft cup. It can be noticed that the existence of hard cup and soft cup negatively affected on their returns. Just as a note, hard cup is the maximum amount of funds required to perform a project, and the soft cup is the minimum amount of funds that required for a project. And those are necessary variables for ICO, in my opinion, because if the company doesn't set these variables, they can either receive too much funds which are not necessary for them, which they are not required in, and because there will be a lot of funds and there will be a lot of tokens in the market, the price of the token will be in some essence weak, I think.
Magomed, have you lost your connection? Are you still with us? Magomed? Dear colleague, it seems yes, we lost our presenter. So, nevertheless, a great pity, because it was very interesting presentation, I think. So it was our last reporter for our agenda in this session. Do you have anything to add? Maybe your comments on our work? I don't mind if you write it in our chat or express it orally, colleagues. Dear colleagues, okay. In case of absence of your wish to comment the work of our session, I thank you all for your participation and announce the work of our section of crypto assets finished. So thank you very much until our future meetings then. Thank you all and goodbye.
I'm so sorry. There were an internet
okay.
error and it's just disconnected. I'm so sorry.
I see. Okay. Okay, try to continue. I give you the floor.
Okay. I'm so sorry. Share. Also, the results of this regression analysis showed that the existence of the prototype of the product has a negative impact, which is really very strange, because the investors having prefer investing in the products which already have some prototype rather than investment in the company which doesn't have any prototype. But I suppose in this case the results are negative, because in this market like more than 80% of the representatives of this market doesn't have any prototype, and it's affected on their sample, and this way it affected on the result of the regression. Performance of the utility token has a positive and negative effect. It depends on the time period of returns calculation. US restrictions has a strongly positive effect. I mean restrictions of US citizens, because if during the ICO citizens from the United States took participation, then the founders of this ICO needs to have to meet the requirements of their Security and Exchange Commission, and their requirements for most of the ICO are very tight, and because it's a new market, the leaders of this market like some light measures, like in Switzerland or Singapore, when authorities tries to help of development of this fundraising method. Regarding restrictions of other citizens, we see that mostly it affected positively. Also, we see that it was noticed that a number of listed markets in which cryptocurrency was listed up after the ICO had a positive impact on their returns, and the number of total followers on the variety of social networks had a positive impact. Regarding a bounty, which is a program to distribute the cryptocurrency to make it more. It's a way of advertising in the ICO market. Yeah, I mean bounty, airdrop, and bonus. All these programs is the way of advertising, but they have differences. In this regression, bounty, this measure as bounty had a negative impact, availability of bounty had a negative impact, whereas airdrop and bonuses mostly had positive impact. Longevity of the ICO had a positive impact. I mean, like longevity is how many days it took to perform an ICO. Time to listing, very strange. Also had a positive impact, and it means that the longer it took for the founders to list on their stock exchange, the better results. And the very interesting results are related to the Bitcoin returns, as can be seen in almost each period. The returns on Bitcoin had a significant impact on their returns of token, and the results were significant, and the results of the regressions were significant. And hence, I can say that the returns of token mostly affected by the returns on Bitcoin. This presentation is really huge, and I'd love to tell you all this, but I mean, if you wish, I can proceed, but I already took lots of your time, and I'm really sorry that I was a bit late, and it depends on you. If you wish to hear more, I can proceed, but I understand that it's more or less more
Just
or less.
explain us very briefly about your interim result and
Very briefly, okay.
make yes, a conclusion.
Okay, then after this initial results, I performed another results with logarithms introduced in the model, and there were same situation that there were no a constant results among periods, and I just decided to shorten the model, but just by picking up variables which had significant results in this in the first regression without logarithms, and in the second, and the third regression was performed for this period, and the results of this regression are more or less are more precise in my opinion, because R square, like a maximum R square is higher, but of course minimum R square is lower as well, but there the sign of the figures is constant. Just so briefly, a project code availability in this regression had a negative impact on in all the periods. Fiat acceptance in all the periods had a negative impact acceptance, and of course in some periods the results were significant. When it comes to the acceptance of Ethereum, in almost all the periods, acceptance of the Ethereum positively impacted on the returns of the token. The existence of hard copy here we see in this version of the regression and negatively impact raised funds. They affected the amount of raised funds negatively. The number of team members also affected negatively, as well as the number of advisors. So it meant that it's expected that team shouldn't be that the team that performs an ICO shouldn't be that big. When it comes to the know your customer procedures, it's expected that this procedure is performed, and I expected the same result, and the function of utility token also affects positively. I think those are brief results of this model. But of course, there is also another model when the returns computed in different way, but it will take like lots of time. So I think it's better just stop here.
I see. Okay. Thank you, Magomed, for your result and presentation. Just for our participant, list clearly and very briefly the main result from your research of key determinant of this success. Very briefly. Just list them.
The number of team members and
first is the number of team members. Yeah,
the number of team members and the number of advisors of the project shouldn't be very big. It should be small, because there is a negative correlation. And also the project should accept Ethereum as the cryptocurrency for investments. Also, they need to perform know your customer procedure, because by this way the illegal funds don't come to this project.
And the last one, the last key determinants.
The US, mostly the US citizens should be limited from participation in the ICO, because that way there will be lots of legal issues with Security and Exchange Commission.
Okay, thank you very much. And can I ask you to turn on your video so we can take a photo of you on the
Okay.
background of your presentation.
Just a minute.
Mhm. So while Magomed is trying to turn on his video, dear colleagues, do you have any question to our presenter?
Just I'm just trying to switch on.
If it is very difficult for you, don't worry.
Just a minute, please, because
Mhm.
switched here.
Somewhere at the left bottom of your screen.
Just
Okay, it doesn't matter. Don't worry about it. So, dear colleague, do you have any question to our presenter? You may write it down in our chat if you wish. No additional question. So, in such case, I repeat once more. I thank you all for your participation. I hope that I hope and look forward to our new meetings and discussion of new topics and result of our new scientific researches, and maybe they may be mutual for our university, for student of our university, or maybe a team of researchers, professor or okay, professor of our researchers. So do you have any question to me as moderator? No question. Thank you all and goodbye. Dear Pham Phong Anh, can you hear me? Dear Professor Anh, can you hear me? Hello. What about now?
Okay, now I can hear you.
Okay, so I'm ready to tell you that our session finished its work. We listen to all our presenter, even additional one, and now we are waiting for finishing 2 other sessions, and we'll come back at 3:30 Moscow time or 7:30 p.m. In Vietnamese time. Do you have any question to me concerning the work of our session?
I think that you can so you finish the session now?
Yes, we finish. We listen to all the presentation. We discuss them all. Even listen to one additional presentation, very interesting one, concerning ICO process. And now I'm simply waiting for our conclusion at 7:30 of Vietnamese time. Do you have any question?
I think that we can.
Sorry?
We can back to the section 1 and join with. We can back to.
I think it will be better
one with Professor Jan Bueller and join with them. Yeah.
Something wrong with connection from you. I think it will be better when I help in next session concerning sustainability.
Yes. Okay. I think that's okay. Yeah. Okay. So you could join our section 3 on the sustainability developments in digitalization context.
Okay.
Yeah.
And after that, all of us will summarize the result of our conference at approximately at 7:30. Is it so?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Till the time then.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Dr. Lukashenko. Thank you.
Thank you.